How many Mesos does it cost to make your own max level epic equipment? That is the question that we are going to go ahead and answer today, and I think that this question is probably more important than the one that we answered yesterday. For those of you guys that missed it, yesterday's video, we did 25 million Mesos worth of chest pulls from the cash shop. Even though it says it's in the cash shop, it doesn't actually cost crystals. It is, of course, these 500k 10+1 normal treasure box pulls. We took everything, we extracted it, and we saw how many gold leafs we got. So if you're interested, that was the video from yesterday. But today, we're actually going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to do these chest pulls, but we're not going to extract. We're actually going to go ahead and fuse into epic equipment. And I've got an epic cloak here that is level 1. It has no experience. It's a fresh one. We're going to go ahead and level it all the way up to max. We're going to get it up to level 15 and see how many Mesos worth of chest pulls it actually ends up taking in order to max level a cape. Now, because you also end up getting weapons, we also have a weapon here, but generally speaking, when you actually do these chest pulls, it's a lot slower to actually level up a weapon. So we'll see by the time that we actually end up getting the cloak to max level, how many levels we ended up getting on the weapon, just as, I guess you could say, as an added little bonus. So we have 100 million Mesos here. That'll make the math really easy at the end of the video. I could just go ahead and take however many Mesos I have and 100 million, and the math will be really easy. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start the chest pulls just like we did the other day, but no extracting. Today, it's all about fusing. This will give you a really good idea of how many Mesos it's actually going to end up costing you if you want to actually make your own max level equipment, and then you can go ahead and do whatever you want with it. You could sell it on the trade station. You can go ahead and use it to fuse and try to gamble for emblems, or you can just go ahead and get uniques. So this will give you a really good idea of how much this actually costs and why these chests actually aren't really that bad right now with the crazy economy. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to treasure box, and here we go. All right, now, also, somebody pointed out in the comment section, thank you very much, by the way, that we can go ahead and click this button twice, and it'll speed things up a little bit. Oh, man, I really wish I knew that yesterday. Probably would have shaved maybe 3-4 minutes off the video, so hopefully it'll be a bit quicker today. All right. And just like we did yesterday, we are also going to go ahead and fuse every single epic that we get. So normally, I mentioned this in yesterday's video, normally I would go ahead and take a look at the epics and maybe not actually fuse or extract or do whatever you're going to do with certain epics, like belts, capes, shoulders, epics with unique potentials. There's definitely some epics that you want to be on the lookout for. Weapons, of course, don't forget weapons. Weapons are still very, very expensive. But there's plenty of epics that you don't actually want to get rid of. When I say get rid of, I mean either use them as fusion material or extract them. You probably want to save onto a lot of stuff and sell it on the trade station. But for this video, we're going to go ahead and infuse everything just to make it easier. And I don't want to get into any crazy math or anything like that at the end of it. So we will be fusing all the normals, the rares, and the epics. And I think my inventory has enough room for us to do around 5 million Mesos at a time, which is great. Alright. And I was reading all the comments from yesterday's video. Now, I don't want to actually go ahead and spoil the video, so I'm not going to talk about it too much for those of you guys that missed it, but I guess you could say that it's not nearly as many gold leafs as you might think it is from actually extracting all this gear. Okay, and we can actually go ahead and auto-select it. Okay, so this is the weapon. So actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and start with the armor first, and this will give us a little bit of a better idea. Remember, the levels on the weapon are just kind of a bonus. There's no way we're going to get the weapon to max level because you get way less weapons. Weapons actually use more experience, or they need more experience than armors do in order to level up to max. So we're going to go until we get this cape all the way up to max level. So let's go ahead and see, and actually I want to make sure that it selects everything. So let's do all, no, not all, but equipment first, all, maybe not all. I definitely want to make sure that it uses epics, though. So let's go with this. It's still not selecting these, though, for some, oh, because it's at 50, that's why. All right, so level 3, just from these, by the way. This is going to cost a few Mesos as well. So look at that, we're already at level 3, but of course, it does actually need more experience as you keep leveling it up. Look at that, already almost levels, actually past level 7 already, and we're only at 5 million, a little over 5 million Mesos. Now, we're not actually going to go ahead and save the epics until the end for this one, because it would just get a little bit too confusing, so I'm going to go ahead and just fuse everything That'll give you a really good idea as to the progress that we make on this. As you can see, with just a little over 5 million Mesos, we're already past level 7 on this cloak. Alright, so there we go. So the cloak is level 7. And now let's go back to the weapon. And this will give you an idea. See, look at that. We got over 7 levels on the cloak. But this weapon, everything that we got from those chest pulls, isn't even going to end up giving us a single level. So you end up leveling up weapons a lot slower than armor when you actually end up doing these chest pulls. So there we go. That's the first set right there. Look at that. We're already almost... We're about level 7, 7.5. And we've only been through 15 million Mesos. Alright, let's get back to the chest pulls. That's pretty crazy. I did not have a really good idea in my head what the numbers would end up being for this video. So I'm just as interested as you guys probably are. I did not think that it would be at past level 7 on the first set of pulls already. So... I'm getting a few epics as well. Now, once again, I'll say this because it is important. I know I'm just burning through all my epics and fusing them all right away, but if I were doing this yourself, I would do the same thing that I'm doing, except the one big thing that I would do, the one big difference, is I would not fuse the epics and take a look at the prices of them on your server. Some things are not selling for as much. Generally speaking, that's the armors, the helmets, the gloves, and the boots. Those are usually pretty cheap. They've been close to 300,000 to 400,000 Mesos. You could still go ahead and fuse those because they're not really that expensive compared to certain epics. But things like weapons are still over 600,000, 700,000 Mesos on Zenith. Capes, belts, am I missing anything? Capes, belts, shoulders. Those things sell for quite a bit more Mesos than other epics, so you probably want to hold on to those and not use them as fusion material because all epics are going to give you the same amount of experience, so might as well go ahead and sell the more expensive ones. Alright, so we are almost at 10 million Mesos so far. So we are now at a little over 10 million Mesos. And we're going to do one more pull, and then I'm going to go ahead and fuse everything and see what level we are at. Now, I don't want to go over, so I want to make sure that when we get close to it being max level, I don't want to actually spend more Mesos to level it up than I have to, so... Okay, there we go. So we are at about 10 million Mesos so far. We're going to go ahead and do the armor, and then we will do the weapon. Okay, so here we go. Alright, and this is just the normals. So, actually, experience is very... I'm going to talk about this when we actually do some more pulls in a minute, because the way that experience works in this game, it's very important to actually know this stuff. And I might actually end up making a video with more detail on experience and how it works. Okay, so we are at almost level 11. So, 86% of the way through level 10, and we are at, what is that, 11 million Mesos. Now let's go to the weapon, and you'll see that the weapon does level up quite a bit slower. So we did hit level 3 on our weapon, but our cape is almost level 11, right? Yeah, almost level 11. Okay, let's go back to pulls, and I'll talk about what I was going to say with experience. So... the way that experience works, and I might have to end up doing a separate video. If you guys want me to talk about the way that experience works, not just for equipment, but for dust as well, leave a like on this video, leave a comment, let me know. I could make a shorter video that goes into more detail and explains it a little bit better. But this is how it works. So you have dusts, and then you have equipment. Equipment gives twice as much experience as the same rarity dust. So if you have an epic piece of equipment, and then you have an epic dust, the epic piece of equipment will give you twice as much experience as the epic dust. Same for rare equipment and rare dust. If you have a rare piece of equipment, it'll give you twice as much experience as a rare dust. If you have a normal piece of equipment, it'll give you twice as much experience as a normal dust. Now, when it comes to normal versus rare experience versus epic experience, this is how it works. So, you have a normal item, and then you have a rare item. Rare items are going to give 3 times as much experience as normal items. Then you have epic. Epic items are going to give 2.5 times as much experience as a rare item. So it's not quite 3, it's a little bit less. So dusts give half as much experience as the same color equipment, which is really important. They cost the same amount though, so dusts cost a little bit more Mesos to actually use than equipment. And then you have rare equipment, which gives 3 times as more experience as normal equipment, and then you have epic equipment, which gives 2.5 times as much experience as rare equipment. So overall, a rare piece of armor is going to give 7.5 times as much experience as a white piece of armor. So this helmet right here is going to give 7.5 times as much experience when fusing as something like these white boots. So obviously this can get a bit complicated, so I just wanted to throw that into this video in case you guys are listening and interested. But I can go ahead and make a separate video talking about it in more detail if you guys are interested, because very, very, very important to know. If you guys are doing a lot of fusion, you definitely want to be caught up on this kind of stuff, because it'll make making profit, making Mesos a lot easier for you. Okay, so let's go ahead, and we're probably getting pretty close to level 15 actually. I would guess maybe one more inventory to go, maybe 2 or 1.5, but we're definitely getting close. So look at this. This has got us to level 12 now. Okay. And what about all this? We are at 13.5 with everything, but not the epics. So let me include the epics here. We are at level 14, guys. We are very, very close. And let's go ahead and see where the weapon is. That's not the right one. This one right here, same thing. We're going to do everything. Level 4, a little over 4.5. Alright, so I'm only going to do one pull at a time right now. I know that might be a little bit annoying for a minute or two, but the reason is because I don't want to do more pulls than I have to in order to get that cloak up to level 15. So let's go ahead, and especially if we get a decent pull where we got like 3 rares right there, every single pull is going to be pretty close to getting this to max level. So what are we at? 27%, okay. If we get an epic or 2, it might actually be the last pull, depending on the luck that we get. So we're very close, guys. Very, very close. Alright, this was not a great pull, so I know that pull's not going to do it. So we can do one more. And depending on what we get, we're going to have to probably end up doing one more pull, would be my guess. Maybe 2 if we get extremely, extremely unlucky with the next couple of pulls. But this is very, very close. Look at that. 50%. What are we at? 68% right now. Alright, if we get an epic, that might be it. But if we don't get a very good pull, we might have to end up doing 2. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Epic. Ooh, this was a decent pull. Is this it? Is this the last one? Let's see. This might be enough experience. Oh, we're at 93%. All right, so we are going to go ahead and do a couple of single pulls to finish this off because we don't want to spend any more Mesos than we have to. I'll also go ahead and infuse the weapons into the wands once we actually finish the cloak. So 93%. So we're so close. One epic should actually do the trick, or a couple of rares, or 3, 4, 5 normal items. So let's see what we get. Okay, normal item, that's not going to do it, so I know we have to do another one. Alright, that might be it, actually. Either that or we are one item away. Let's see. Oh, this is it. Look at that. 93.29, 99.12, and that is it right there. That is going to bring our cloak up to level 15. And let's go ahead and fuse into the wands. So, we'll take a look at the results in just a second here. Alright, so there we go. We are done. We have gotten our cloak up to max level, level 15, and we got our wand up to level 5 and a little bit into level 5. So as you can see, you level up armor way quicker than you do when it comes to weapons, because when you end up doing those chest pulls, you get way more armor as in the gear that you actually get. On top of that, weapons also take a little bit more experience. They take about 20-25% more experience to actually level up than armor do. So, pretty big difference. Alright, and now we have our cloak level 15. Now, how many Mesos did we actually end up spending? Well, we still have over 80 million Mesos. So we spent less than 20 million Mesos. Let me go ahead and type this in, do some quick math here to calculate the exact number. Alright, 88,510,000. So the total number of Mesos that we spent was 19,149,000. Less than 20 million Mesos. Once again, that number that we spent, 19,149,000 Mesos. And we got ourselves a level 15 max level epic cloak. And we also got 5 levels on this wand as well, just as an added little bonus. So if you want to go ahead and fuse gear, what you would end up doing is pretty much exactly what we just did right now, except you would do it twice, because you need 2 max level epics in order to actually fuse. So you would then go ahead and fuse. It's going to cost you 1.6 million Mesos to fuse it as well. So you spend 20 million on the cloak, and then a 20 million on another item, whatever you want to end up getting a unique of. You can fuse whatever gear you want. Then 1.6 million Mesos, and you're looking at around 42 million Mesos on average. On average, remember, if you do this yourself, the number might be a little bit different, might be a bit higher, might be a bit lower, all depends on the luck, but we did enough pulls to where it should be pretty similar to the number that we just got right now. So around 42 million Mesos in order to actually fuse to get an epic piece of equipment. Now you can go to the trade station and take a look at gear for your class, take a look and see what the prices of uniques are, and you could see if what you're doing when it comes to fusing is going to be profitable or not. Let's just go ahead and go to capes as an example. So if it costs us 42 million Mesos in order to actually end up fusing a unique cloak, you could see that unless we actually get a serious cloak or a serious cape, it's probably not going to actually be profitable. But with the extra levels that you end up getting on the weapon, it still could be. So this is where I can't really say if it's going to be profitable or not, because the economy is obviously going to be different on your server. If you guys play on a different server, if prices are different, things are obviously going to depend a lot. But you can go ahead and see with your trade station and the economy and how the game is, if doing these pulls is worth it. So let me know, actually, let me know in the comments if you guys, whatever server you're playing on, is doing these 500k chest pulls profitable in order to actually use for fusion materials to get uniques. Let me know if it's profitable on your server, and I'll be taking a look and reading all the comments. So I'm hoping this video helped out. I know it was very similar to yesterday, but definitely this is probably the more common use for these 500k chest pulls. Of course, you can go ahead and do what we did yesterday. If you guys missed it, by the way, there will be a link to the video, I think at the end of this one in a minute or so. But we ended up doing the same thing, except instead of fusing, we extracted and saw how many gold leaps we actually got from 25 million Mesos worth of pulls. This is the more common use, though, people using it as fusion material. So I'm hoping this helped out, and if it did, if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a quick like. Let me know any comments, feedbacks, or anything that you guys have. And of course, if you are new to the channel and you guys are interested in future videos similar to this one, guides, tutorials, and just fun stuff, Maplestory M, and maybe other games in the future related, consider subscribing to the channel. Only takes a quick second. That'll give you notifications as well. Don't forget to turn notifications on. A couple people messaged me saying YouTube is a bit weird about that. But thank you again, everyone. And don't forget to enter the September giveaway. We are almost halfway through the month of September. So we've got about 15 days left until that giveaway ends. Link will be in the description. Very simple. Only takes a quick second to enter. All you have to do is be a subscriber of the channel and then leave a quick like and or comment on the giveaway video. And that'll give you 3 tickets, 3 chances to win for that crystal giveaway. So thanks again, everyone. Have a fantastic day. And until next time, guys, this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.